Part 3. Red light. Everyone had jumped out of their beds. There was a great fear in their eyes. It was around 2 a.m. What was this noise? Jim headed for the rifle on the wall. John took the axe. And they went outside. They couldn't see anything. The only thing they saw was that the food they left outside had disappeared. John asked Jim, "Should we tell the girls?" Jim said with a sad look, "Yes, we have to." The team had lost all the food they left outside. Maybe a wolf, maybe a bear, maybe another animal. It had taken the sack of food and run away. As a result, 2 weeks' worth of food had disappeared. And this had put them in a more difficult situation. Now they had no food either. John and Jim were devastated in front of the door. The lack of food could turn into a very big problem. They could even die. Until the car came to pick them up. Jim and John returned to the cabin. Both of them were looking at the ground. Sarah asked, "What happened outside? What was that noise?" John answered reluctantly, "An animal must have taken the sack of food and run away, I guess. Unfortunately, we couldn't see anything. The only thing we know is that the sack of food that was left outside is gone." The team froze. "Lisa, did we lose all our food?" Jim said yes with sorrow. Then he threw 2 thick logs into the fireplace. Everyone was devastated. What would they do without food? None of them had any hunting experience. Even if they hunted, what would they hunt? A rabbit? How long would a rabbit last for 4 people? Would they have to hunt every day? What could they hunt with a rifle? How many bullets did they have? All the questions were flying in the middle of the room. They were all sitting in the cabin, tired of all these problems that came one after another. First, a vacation that was only imagined. Then the difficulties of cutting wood. Now they had lost all their valuable food. What else could happen to them? The girls cooked their dinner from the last food in the cabin. With each bite, they were thinking about what they would eat tomorrow. They ate their dinner in a very quiet atmosphere. No one was talking. There was only the scream of the burning wood in the fireplace. John said, "We can't stay here, guys. We have to reach the nearest village. There is no food left. Only a few cans of tuna and beans. With these meals, even if we are full tomorrow, we will be hungry the next day. We have to hit the road immediately, guys." When John said these things, Lisa was in front of the window. She had seen a red light outside again. She wasn't sure. The snow was very heavy. A faint light seemed to flash. This time, she decided to tell them. She started to speak. "I saw a red light last night. And I ran to the door. I saw the same light again tonight. It's not visible now. What do you think this could be?" She said. "Sarah, maybe it's an antenna light. I think I've come across such things before." Jim joined the conversation, but antenna lights flash constantly. "They don't disappear," he said. Sarah said, "Take the most important things with you. Make a good decision about what you will take, because they all have to fit in a small backpack." Jim said, "There is a rescue flare in the cabin, we should use it." John said, "We have to save the rescue flare for later. We should use the rescue flare when we get closer to the settlements." Lisa preferred not to say anything, but she wasn't sure about hitting the road. John and Sarah had already decided to hit the road. The four of them set off at the first light of the morning. The snow was blinding. There was a windstorm. After advancing 300 meters in 30 minutes, they decided to return to the cabin. John was the last one to close the door and enter the cabin. They were all shivering from the cold. Jim quickly lit the fireplace. They hugged each other to warm up until the cabin heated up. The weather was so bad that they had only been able to travel 300 meters. It was impossible to walk in this snowstorm. The girls went to bed. The boys got into their sleeping bags. They didn't blame each other for this failed plan. No one was talking. The fireplace was burning fiercely. The sound of the wind was mixing with the sound of the fire. Everyone was lost in thought, lying in fear where they were.